Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. Full Metal Jacket is a 1987 war drama film that's directed and produced by Stanley Kubrick, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Michael Herr and Gustav Hasford. The film is based on Hasford's 1979 novel, The Short Timers. The movie stars Matthew Modine, Lee Ermey, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Adam Baldwin. The storyline follows a platoon of U.S. Marines through their boot camp training in the Marine Corps Recruit Depot of Parris Island, North Carolina, primarily focusing in the first half of the film on Privates J.T. Davis and Leonard Lawrence, nicknamed Joker and Pyle, as they struggle under their abusive drill instructor, Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. The second half portrays the experiences of Joker and one other of the platoon's Marines in Vietnam cities during the Tet Offensive of the Vietnam War. In the first part of the movie, the sequences inside the barracks with the drill instructor present used a special lens that was designed for the camera that was able to keep all the recruits in focus. Stanley Kubrick's intention in doing this was to make sure that no one was given special emphasis and they all received the same treatment. Lee Ermey's role was originally just as a technical support person for the film, but Stanley Kubrick liked him so much that he put him in the film, and he had nothing but praise for the skills of this performer. Kubrick originally was going to write dialogue for his character, but he became so impressed with Ermey's improvisational skills, he decided it wasn't necessary. He simply let him ad-lib everything he did in the film. This is an act that is completely unheard of in a Stanley Kubrick film. His performances were so flawless that the director only needed 2 or 3 takes to get his scenes filmed, which was an extremely rare circumstance in a Kubrick film. It's said that the production schedule was just grueling for this film and wore everyone out. It was so drawn out for the lead actor, Matthew Modine, that he got married, conceived a child with his wife, the child was born, and then turned 1 year old, all during the course of filming the project. One thing that stands out between the actor Matthew Modine and the director during this time is that the director insisted that the actor not be there for the birth of his own son. The director tried to convince the actor that he would just get in the way of the doctors. Modine was so insistent about going to the delivery of his son that he actually took out a pocket knife from his pocket and threatened to cut his hand open in order to get permission to go to the hospital. This ploy worked, and Kubrick let him off. To make the Gunnery Sergeant Hartman's performance and the recruits' reactions to it as convincing as possible, Matthew Modine and Vincent D'Onofrio and the other actors playing the recruits never were allowed to meet Lee Ermey prior to the filming of those scenes. Kubrick also saw that he wasn't allowed to fraternize with the actors between takes. He wanted a definite distinction and separation between these two. The filming of the project was also delayed because of a near-fatal injury that happened to Lee Ermey. He ended up breaking almost all his ribs on one side of his body in a car crash. Matthew Modine kept a diary during the filming of the project. It was to help him keep into the mind space of a reporter like his character. Kubrick would occasionally tell Modine to read from his diary out loud to everyone on the set. All of the Vietnam sequences of the movie were shot first, and the Paris Island basic training scenes were filmed second. The opening shot of the street of Da Nang with the local prostitute was the very first scene to be filmed in the movie. The shot of the Marine recruits marching during their graduation was the very last scene to be filmed. While doing location scouting for the film, the director Kubrick was driving his wife's new SUV around the countryside with cinematographer Douglas Milsom and Lee Ermey. At one point, Kubrick noticed a potential location out his window, and he became so distracted describing to the cinematographer how he wanted this location used in the film that he crashed the car into a 6-foot ditch, rolling the SUV onto its side. Undeterred, Kubrick continued talking about the location, almost uninterrupted, as they climbed out of the car and had to walk back home. Many audience members have noticed that during the opening scene where Gunny Hartman belittles Joker and Cowboy, the drill instructor walks past one recruit before getting to Pyle. This has led to the speculation that the actor was misplaced there by accident, and that Pyle was supposed to be standing next to Cowboy, as it would make no sense for Hartman to skip over somebody as he does in the movie. Lee Ermey was asked about this in 2008, and he stated that this actually wasn't a mistake at all, that during his time as a drill instructor, he would usually skip over some privates to catch the next one off guard, as they wouldn't be expecting to be yelled at next. Vincent D'Onofrio heard of the auditions for the movie from Matthew Modine. Using a rented video camera, he dressed in Army fatigues, and he recorded his audition for the part as Private Pyle. To play the role, he gained an unbelievable amount of weight, actually 70 pounds. In addition to this weight gain, he also shaved his head for the part. And in doing so, he was surprised at how much it actually affected him and his life. He states that women wouldn't look at him anymore, and most of the time he felt like he was looking at their backs because they would constantly run away from him. He couldn't get the first word in to a new girl. People would often say things to him twice because they thought he was stupid or developmentally challenged. To this day, it's the most weight that any actor has gained for a movie role. Take a look at this Stanley Kubrick masterpiece. You won't be disappointed. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.